Hey everyone, this is County Commissioner David O'Keefe. Uh, for the moment, with our cats Thomas and Binks. I want to quickly summarize the outcome of the homelessness workshop we did on Tuesday. I just recorded a video talking about it. That's 15 minutes. I'm not going to make you watch that. You can go back and watch the 3 hour workshop or my prep summary before that. But here's the outcomes. We approved 10 stack recommendations. Uh, Summarized in 8 options. Commissioner Caban made that motion, adding a additional thing for staff to bring back funding options and policy options for taking people who are camping in public and moving them someplace else to get them away from the public. Um, we also modified in that motion to bring back data to support the safety aspect of a median ordinance saying you can't solicit in a median, and to bring back possibly increasing the amount funding, $500,000 amount to increase funding next year for services for emergency shelter providers and service providers. I made a motion and asked the commission to decouple the camping relocation policy from the staff recommendations because I wanted to be able to support those up or down, and then each commissioner's individual suggestions could be voted on up and down. That did not go through. We had to vote on everything plus this anti public camping policy that would likely require some kind of ordinance. It wasn't clear. And so, unfortunately, I voted against um, the package because the other commissioners were not willing to decouple them. It did pass though, and when it comes back, I'm planning to argue against it unless there's some new compelling evidence or reasoning for it. Um, in addition to that, we then brought some other ideas that we discussed. Commissioner Proctor brought in, uh, moved that we ask staff to follow up and bring an agenda item on a task force plan from the Compassion and Social Justice Committee of the First Presbyterian Church, provided us to us by Debbie Gibson. This would have us work with the city and do a joint citizens task force on homelessness to provide a 10-year plan, to consider creative ideas like providing bathrooms and lockers in downtown areas, more targeted mental health services, federal and new state dollars to create programs, innovative programs, not just hire more deputies, examine how to maximize density bonuses for developers in exchange for low income housing, targeting programs to homeless students in schools, including summer programs, and providing transitional housing for those released from the hospital but without a home or housing to return to, and an inventory of vacant hotels, apartments, etc. Um, this was moved and passed, and I'm looking forward to that item coming back. I did vote against it because I hesitate to create another joint task force. We already have the Big Bang Continuum of Care. We have joint commissions and committees with all our homeless service providers. And the more competing commissions and task force you create, I fear you get confusion. So let's see what form it comes back to us from staff. Then Commissioner Proctor moved to bring a budget analysis and, if needed, a referendum for the citizens to say, we want you to allocate 1% of the overall budget to deal with homelessness. I think it's a great idea. I think we'll probably end up getting to allocating about that amount when we're finished with all our other policies. The referendum would not be required, but if the commissioners don't want to use their authority and they want the voters to weigh in, we can. Staff is going to bring back that item, and we'll see what they have. Then finally got to what I could add. I moved that we bring back from staff a recommended way under what authority we have to provide a method for people who have been evicted in Leon County to get those evictions expunged from their records, because one eviction can keep you from getting any lease, which makes it very difficult to get back on your feet. And currently, we don't have a method for that in Leon County. That passed, and we'll see that item. Then I moved to have staff bring back an item evaluating converting suitable Leon County facilities not currently in use to be converted to permanent supportive housing. And, if not already in policy, for staff to put in place that we will pursue turning vacant spaces like hotels, retail spaces, etc., into permanent supportive housing by seeking federal and other funding to do that. Commissioner Caban asked to add to that, having them identify property and sites in the urban services area that could be rezoned for increased densities in exchange for permanent supportive housing. I support that and added that. This all passed, and that will be coming back from staff. One thing I didn't bring up as a motion, because I think everyone was getting tired and I don't know that it would have passed, I'll bring it up at an appropriate future meeting time for another agenda item, is uh, creating a local fund to support a right to counsel for people who are getting in eviction or foreclosure cases in Leon County, to get legal representation if they can't afford it, to help prevent them from getting kicked out of their home they own or evicted from a place they rent if they have a basis to. A lot of times, there's a basis to either get through bankruptcy or reforming payments to stay in your home, and it's very expensive to try to get someone back into a home after they've been on the street. We want to prevent that. These are all the main things. There's a lot more to it, but I wanted to keep this under another 15 minutes. Thank you, everyone, for sticking through, and thank you, everyone who is engaged in this to help our community, help people get back into homes, into permanent supportive housing, and to put our community back on track.